active voice is. The subject is doing the action. We know in the passive voice, the subject is being acted upon. Let's get an understanding for the middle voice. However, the Greek had a third way of writing the arrow. It made an arrow to do a U-turn, something like, I will make myself. This third way of writing the arrow, we will call the middle voice and put the middle voice in the middle, okay? Listen now, let's look at the example. Let's look at the example. Active voice, I will what? Make. Middle voice, I will do what? Passive voice, let's do that one more time. If it's in the active voice is I will make, the subject is doing the action. In the middle voice, I will make what? Myself. And so in the middle voice then, the subject is doing it himself. He's not being acted upon. He's not the subject, but he is, I will make myself. That's the middle voice. Okay? And so, y'all remember in, what is it, Mark chapter, blind Bartimaeus, Mark chapter, and the Bible says, and he heard Jesus was coming, and he cried out, and they told him to be quiet, right? And then the Bible says he cried out the what? The more. That is in the middle voice. So he made himself cried out. And so when the people told him to be quiet, it wasn't in the active voice. He wasn't receiving the action. It wasn't in the passive voice. It was in the middle voice. So the action was repeated, and he was doing it himself. And so when they say, listen, man, you need to shut up because Jesus is about to approach, it's the middle voice. So he did it what? Himself. And so in the middle voice, I will make myself cry out, and he continued to cry out. And so that's how it helps you with biblical understanding and biblical interpretation if it's in the active voice. The subject is receiving the action, you're being acted upon. Right? If it's in the passive voice. It's limited. The English is limited. The English is limited. Go ahead.